What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the first Descendant video on the channel. So we're going to be doing a first impressions on the beta for the first Descendant, which is going to be a new looter shooter coming out in 2023. I've been really actually enjoying this a lot, so we're going to go over things that I am noticing in this game that are pretty fun, things as a long-term Destiny and Warframe player that I'm really enjoying here, and, things that this game is getting right and maybe getting wrong compared to some of the predecessors. This game is not really scheduled to come out anytime soon as far as we know. There's not even a release date, but, this beta is pretty feature-rich. We've got, like, a good amount of missions in here. There's some high-level boss fights, and we've got a bunch of characters you can earn as well. So we're going to go over how a bunch of this stuff works. Before we get into it, though, make sure you are subscribed to this channel so we put up these daily uploads. And also check out the live stream. We'll be live streaming some First Descendant and some Warframe tonight, because Warframe's our main game. This is just going to be basically me going over how I feel about this beta. And yeah, if you want to get access to this, I will be live streaming this tonight, and you get access to the beta by watching my stream for 15 minutes. It's a Twitch drop. Alright, so the First Descendant is going to be a free-to-play looter shooter type game that is made by Nexon Games. I don't know what other games they've really made. I'm actually completely oblivious to the studio that has made this. But I'm just going off of what I've heard in interviews, and they said they were in one of the interviews. The devs were inspired by Destiny, Warframe, and I don't know if they said Outriders, but this looks a lot like Outriders. I have someone that plays looter shooters a lot. This looks a lot like Outriders, but it's also got a little bit of a Korean art style to it. If you ever played like Lost Ark or something like that, I kind of get like Lost Ark kind of vibes from this. Maybe even a little bit of Final Fantasy, where everyone is like really good looking. And yeah, just like everyone's perfect looking. You kind of get that kind of art style from this. But as far as, how this gameplay and combat feels, you're going to be killing enemies, and they're going to be dropping loot on the ground, kind of like in Destiny or in Borderlands. I'm going to be comparing this to other games a lot, guys, because this isn't really super original, honestly. It's a fun little gameplay situation we have here, but even the devs have been saying they were inspired by like Borderlands and stuff. So if I call out like that looks like Outriders, it looks like Destiny, just understand that's by design, pretty much. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, as a big fan of looter shooters, I'm going to go ahead and say the story of this reminds me of Destiny a lot. Ancient evil shows up. The good guys are overwhelmed. Random ancient good person power comes and fights back against the evil. And the enemies are literally called the Legion of Darkness, okay? They're literally called the Darkness, the bad guys in this game. And we get into the inventory management screen right here. You're going to even see more of like, a looter shooter kind of thing here. Now, as far as problems with this game, one of the biggest problems I've encountered is this screen right here. This inventory management is a nightmare. I hope that they do some like auto dismantle, like bad gear kind of thing in the future, because I'm picking up like lots of low-level gear that I have no use for. So, as far as the combat though, it's going to be a lot of gun focus, but also there's ways to go pretty much all ability focus as well. There are cooldowns for abilities, so you might find that a little bit annoying. But yeah, there's lots of different characters too. And a big thing about this game, if you've played Warframe, is that there's actually going to be Prime versions of these characters. They're not actually called Prime, but I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. So I'm actually in the city, and I have the lowest graphics settings possible on, just to let you know. We go over to Descendant. So now this is where it's going to be like basically you're looking at the Warframes you can choose from. You can switch between these frames mid-mission. So I want to switch to Bunny Girl, who's basically Volt and Gyre put together. I get to switch to her whenever I feel like it. Just click Use. I switch to the other frame. You can do this mid-mission. So that's pretty cool. Additionally, there is a modding screen just like in Warframe as well. This screen right here, well, I mean, there's lots of screens actually. These are going to be your mod screens like in Warframe. The melee attack rune, I believe, is kind of like the aura mod too. So it's very, very similar to Warframe in that regard. But let me look at our guns and all that. You can switch guns on the fly. There's things like shield generator, giving you some more health and all that. And you're going to level up these characters as well. But as far as the Prime frames go, the guy I was just on, Lepic, he's one of the starter characters. You can basically look at him as Excalibur. He's got a grenade toss as his first ability. Let's look at this right here. 130% damage and a 6-meter radius. We look at Ultimate Lepic. You can basically call this Lepic Prime. It's pretty much Excalibur Prime in this game. The grenade ability for Ultimate Lepic is a larger explosion radius. And it's actually going to scale with strength differently. So we had 130 on this one. Keep in mind, he's pretty high level. That's a level 3 grenade. The level The level 1 grenade on Ultimate Epic is going to be almost as much damage, but a bigger radius as well. So getting the Prime version of this game is actually more important than getting a Prime version in Warframe, hilariously. Because, you know, in Warframe, like, you're going to be getting, like, increased stats, but you're not getting increased ability stats, too. If we compare these, you're getting more base stats and more ability stats, which is actually an interesting thing that, you know, not every game is doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's very similar to those games. I'm going to give you a quick run through of the tower. Here's me fighting some Eximus enemies right here. So, I mean, it is definitely wearing its Warframe influences very, very prominently. There's literally Eximus in here. But I'm really liking this game because as a Warframe and Destiny player, and like I wanted like Outriders, what I'm seeing here is what I wanted Outriders to be. I feel like this is just like there's more mobility. You can jump, you can double jump. There's a grappling hook. The grappling hook is pretty decent. There's times where it feels like it's not working the way I want it to, and it's not being super generous. But at the same time, like there's times the grapple hook feels really good. So this is still a beta. There's things that can get ironed out before release. There's a Fire Eximus right there attacking me. Let's go take a look around the city a little bit too. If you are a Destiny player, this is going to be very, very reminiscent of the tower in Destiny for you. So we're back here. Now I'm going to show you all the vendors I can remember while we're here. So this guy over here is going to be some of your end game. Now I have not been trying to spoil it for myself too much. I'm not like looking up everything, but I'm just going to give you like a quick general run through, okay? So these are some of the end game boss fights right here. I've been playing this game for about 5 hours. And these fights are going to be like basically a special boss fight where you spawn in with 3 other players and you fight a big boss. It's going to drop a bunch of loot, like a loot pinata when it dies. And as you get higher level, there's higher level versions of these guys and more difficulties, even a hard version with a level 55 like tank dude. So that's one of the special types of missions. He's even got a quest for me over here. But as you can see, this is going to be the hub city. You're going to fly here after you're done with your mission. There's like a quest terminal over here. And as far as other stuff, there's lots of materials in this game that are going to be required for building frames. I'm going to call them frames. I don't know if they're called Descendants technically, but I mean, a lot of the people that watch the channel are Warframe players, so let's just talk in terms we understand. This guy over here, you can just sell junk to him. You can buy crappy gear that you should never actually buy. My weapons are like 1,000 DPS. He's got like weapons with 130 DPS, so not worth buying. But as far as these currencies up here, this caliber is basically, you can consider this pretty much like platinum. They've been giving a bunch of caliber away in Twitch drops, so I did not spend any money on this game. You can't actually spend money on this game yet. We're not really sure how the monetization is going to be, but yeah, this is currently being given away for free from Twitch drops. You can build frames with that and rush frames with that. Gold, this is basically credits, so this is like used for building a lot of stuff, it seems like. And then this stuff over here, Quilpoptium, or however you say that, this is pretty much Endo. So we got Plat, credits, and Endo. I don't know what this black mana stuff is yet. I'm still not really super late game in this, and I'm actually probably not going to be grinding this beta too much more because the progress is not carrying over. But let's try to give you a quick run through of what's going on over here. This is your mod upgrade guy. So you can go over to him and enhance a rune. The mods are called runes. So if I want to enhance this demonic resistance rune, I'd go over here. I'd use some Endo and credits, as you see right there. That's the Endo cost. There's the credit cost. It goes from 4 capacity to 5 capacity. You can even form your Descendants, guys. So they really were going for the Warframe on this one. And as far as, you know, building your own characters and stuff, we got her over here. Now, this will probably not be as easy once the actual game comes out in 2023 at some point. But right now we have an event shop. You're getting that free platinum from Twitch drops. This character right here, Glay, is the one I really am looking forward to trying out. And I have her building right now. So if I go to the research quest, my Glay frame is actually done. And I got this all for free, technically. So I'm not sure how bad it's going to be when they actually come out. But if I want to try out my new Blood Berserker character, I can just, go into my inventory and equip her now that I've gotten her accessible. They do give you Bunny Girl for free. And if you want to get some other characters, that's going to be up to you. So like, look at this character does. She's got a Berserk mode. Kind of reminds me of Garuda a little bit, where she gives a weapon damage buff. Also makes me lose some health and increases health regen. So we got other things. She's got an Exalted Blood Pistol. So some of these characters are really cool. We've even got a character similar to Saren right here with poison skills. So a lot of people have been liking her. So, it's been really fun. I'm going to go ahead and say it has some problems. It's terribly optimized. I have the lowest graphics settings on possible. And I feel like I need to upgrade my computer for this. And even people with like really high-end computers are feeling like this is kind of like running not running the best. But, you know, it is a beta, so we'll have to see. I'm also kind of worried to see, like, is there going to be pay to win in this at all? Because the devs have said there's not going to be any pay to win, but, you know, things can change between launch. And we've got a world map right here. Different regions you can go between. If I want to, like, go over to this area to, like, do some quests, you can go over here. And it's very similar to Destiny in that way, where you, like, basically go on patrol. But there are actual missions in here you can run over and over again for XP. That's basically going to be my first impressions of this, guys. It's really fun. But I'm kind of worried to see what it's going to be like at launch. I think there's no harm in trying it out when it comes out. And I went from being not excited for this game to extremely excited for this game after some gameplay. I'm just going to go in here and jump in here, just kill a couple enemies to show you how that goes with my new character. I think it's going to be worth checking out when it comes out, especially if we're in like a slow time for the games you usually play. Like, the thing is, there's no harm, no foul if you try this out and it's like, okay, you know, it ended up being pay to win when it actually came out. I'm not going to waste my time on this game. There's no reason that you can't just, you know, stop playing it. So there's no harm in it. And, you know, if you are a Destiny and Warframe player, there's always, you know, in between seasons or in between updates in Warframe, there's always going to be like a couple week period that's like, okay, there's nothing going on. What am I going to do? I can't find any enemies. This is one of those kinds of games that could be there for you when you're just looking for something to do. Speaking of looking for something to do, there's no enemies in the field. So, yeah, I want to use my Blood Berserker, but apparently not. All right, guys, I hope you found the video helpful. First Descendant is going to be, you know, the beta is going to be available for another, like, 3 or 4 days. So if you do want to check it out, come stop on my stream or watch someone else's channel to get those Twitch drops. And I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Peace.